Welcome back to the newsroom here at France 24. It's time for In the Papers, our international press review, and Catherine Norris-Trent is in charge of that today. Catherine, where are you going to start us off?
In Ireland, understandably, the Irish press are going very big on the referendum on the Lisbon Treaty. At the time of going to press, of course, the result still wasn't known, but there was one interesting angle in the Irish Times. They've got a report that some disabled voters have apparently not been able to go into polling stations and cast their ballots because simple things like no ramps to get their wheelchairs up. So they've got evidence of wheelchair voters being turned away, not being able to vote at all.
Yeah, authorities looking to be in trouble there in Ireland.
Absolutely, that's probably likely to make up part of the fallout after the referendum.
Next, we're going to move on to some American plans for Iraq, I believe.
Well, that's a story that the Gulf News has got. It's a story that's been brewing for a few days based on leaked memos from a secret meeting between US and Iraqi officials. Apparently, the US is pressuring the Iraqi government, according to these memos, for its long-term presence in Iraq, making some pretty big demands about freedom to conduct military operations, arrest whoever they want, control airspace, to use 50 military bases in Iraq long-term, and immunity from Iraqi law.
Sounds pretty controversial.
Absolutely. The writer in the Gulf Times, Middle East commentator Patrick Seal, calls this neo-colonialism, and I think that view is likely to be shared among many of the US critics in the region.
What else do you have for us?
In Japan, an interesting article there. The government, the ruling party, has put forward a proposal. It's not yet a law. They want to actively try and increase the numbers of immigrants coming into Japan. They've got a quota. They want 10% more immigrants over the next 50 years.
That too is pretty controversial. You wouldn't catch any European politicians sort of spelling it out that much.
Absolutely. It's a very frank language in the memo. They say saving Japan from a population crisis there. And they are battling against serious population decline and ageing population. So they really feel they need to do something about that. And they've got plans to perhaps even set up an immigration agency to help integrate people and deal with all the legal issues there. So very different from what you would see in Europe, where immigration is a taboo issue often.
Moving swiftly from that onto the Euro 2008 Championship. We're talking football, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. The Wall Street Journal's Europe edition has an article about looking ahead to tonight's Italy versus Romania clash. They're focusing on ethnic tensions surrounding people from Italy and Romania, which have been brewing over the last few months.
Yeah, exactly, because there have been some tensions between ordinary Italians, or some ordinary Italians, I should say, and the Roma community, which stems from Romania.
Absolutely. There's hundreds of thousands of Romanian immigrants living in Italy, many people from the Roma, Eastern European gypsy community. Recently, there were attacks on a Roma camp, and Silvio Berlusconi, the Italian Prime Minister, has made some pretty forthright comments. So that's very much in the news. And the Wall Street Journal article has interviews with Romanians living in Italy who say they're afraid to go and watch the game on big screens because they're afraid of getting attacked. And also,
sorry to interrupt you there. We don't have a lot of time left, but we want to squeeze in another one. The French game against the Netherlands tonight, which is featuring in the French press, understandably so.
Absolutely. The other match tonight is France versus the Netherlands. France need to win this. So the press there, this is a sports paper, L'Équipe. They're very much focusing on the need to get into action. Obviously, not too impressive performance against Romania last time. So
il va falloir vous bouger. You need to move on.
We need to get into gear. So call for action there.
All right. Thanks very much, Catherine Norris-Trent, for those headlines in the press review, and thank you for watching. Stay with us here at France 24 for more news.
Today, George Bush visits Nicolas Sarkozy during his last European tour. On his Paris agenda, troop levels in Afghanistan, France's return to NATO, and sky-high oil prices. France 24 brings you in-depth analysis with live coverage and special reports. Don't miss our special coverage of the American president's visit to Paris on France 24. With France24.com, be the first to know when news breaks. Sign up on our website to receive breaking news emails in real time. The latest news in your inbox from France24.com.
Beyond the news. Burning issues, real answers. France 24.
Business is brought to you by Dexia, the public finance bank.